Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. This is Imran, and in this tutorial we are going to see how to create the graphic which you see on your screen right now. During this presentation we'll be using these colors which are towards our left hand side, and whatever shortcuts I will be using will be visible here over here towards my bottom left hand side here. Now let's get started with the tutorial, and as you can see, even though this looks a bit complex, it's just multiple copies of a circle and a raindrop kind of looking icon. So let's get started and create these together, and to have some reference I have copied it here. So we'll start with this one and then finally we'll come to this one. So to do this, let me click on a circle, hold shift and control, slightly drag and finish this. And similarly what we'll do is we'll right click on this one and then duplicate this and change its color to probably red here. And then with this selected, press shift and control and slightly click on this arrow here you see, and then slightly take it in. As you can see, we got this nice looking icon here. Now we have the circle which was below here, and the top, the red one. Now we need text, so go ahead and click on the text icon here. We'll put 01 in it, and the font which I'm going to use would be Open Sans font, and then I will slightly increase the font to 40 and make it bold like so. I think I need to increase the font some more. Let me do that. Now to human eye this might look aligned on a one center axis, but we can do better by using a tool called Align and Distribute, which you can open by clicking on Object and Align and Distribute here, and then select all of these and then click on this link here, center on vertical axis and center on horizontal axis. There you go. Now once we are done with this, let's group them together by pressing Ctrl G. You can also right click on it and say group. There you have it. So we have a nice looking object here. Now I'll change the colors afterwards, but let's put it here. Once we are done with this one, we'll come back and then change the colors. That's okay. Now let's go ahead and create this one. To create this, again we'll start with our circle, Ctrl Shift and slightly drag it here. Okay, this looks good. Let's duplicate this again and then change its color to blue. There we go. Now we'll keep this circle aside and we'll work with this circle for now, and then we'll come back to this circle. We'll use it in a while. Now we have this circle. Now we need to create this text looking object, and creating that is pretty easy. We'll go ahead, click on the square rectangle tool. We'll shift and control, hold shift and control, create a nice looking square like so. Now slowly going down by pressing my mouse down. You can see here as well that I'm clicking on down, mouse wheel down. Okay, so we have it here. Now again we need to duplicate this, right click on it and say duplicate, bring it here like so, and then click on this arrow you see here and slightly drag it here some more like this. Yeah, that looks good. Now with this selected, select this object and align them on a horizontal axis like so, and then we'll duplicate this, right click and duplicate. One more time we'll do that, and then we'll slightly drag it here one more time. Yeah, there you go. We should have grouped them together and then did it. So let's go ahead and do that. Control. Now before we group them, okay, actually let's go back, and we have this. Let's go back. Yeah, we are at the back, so let's slightly do this. Let's align this on a horizontal axis so that they are on the same plane. Okay, we are done. So let's then do Ctrl G, or basically you can also do group here. Let's do that again. Separated objects, and then let's say group. There you go. Now let's duplicate this, right click, duplicate one more time. We'll do it one more time, right click, duplicate. Now I can manually make sure that these are on center, but that's like too much work. So what we'll do is we'll select all of these and make sure that they are on a center on a vertical axis, like so. So they are aligned on a vertical axis now. Now with this selected, what we also do is we'll make sure that they are equally spaced by clicking on this button, distribute centers vertically. There you have it. So they are equally distributed. Now let's group them together so that they don't dwindle here and there by pressing Ctrl and G, which is group. And then what we'll do is we'll slightly decrease the size by pressing in this button here. That looks good. Let's drag, oops, sorry, I should have moved, yeah, slightly decrease it a bit. Yeah, probably I'll keep it like this. This looks much better. Yeah, now go ahead and change the color. With this selected, click on this here. You can also select this one, click on the color picker here and then put it here. You have that color. Now this looks much better. Just slightly adjusting things. Okay. Now that we have this, now go ahead, create this raindrop thing. Okay. So for this, we'll use this, and we'll duplicate this again. Right click, duplicate, change the color probably to green, and what we'll do is that we'll make sure the length of this one, the width and the height of the circle will be equivalent to the rectangle which we are going to draw now. So hold shift and control and then draw. That's okay. Let's change the color so that we can distinguish the blue. Now we want to make sure that the height and width is how much was that? 1/7. So let's copy this one, go here, and then make sure this lock symbol is clicked, otherwise it might increase the width but not the height. Okay, there we have it. Now with this selected, select this object here and then say align on vertical axis and then align on horizontal axis. Right click here and then click again here so that we deselect and then select this one. Let's send this to the bottom by clicking this button here. So there we have it. Now click on here and then click on the circle, and then with holding shift click on the blue square. That's selected. We have two objects selected here, which you can see here. Now go to object and then path and say difference. Now what it did is that it divided this. You can see the square, we have a hole in it. So, and then once we are done with this, go to path, break apart. So what it did was it divided this into the square into multiple chunks. So let's delete all of these. Now we have this now. So let's select these two objects and then go to path and then say union. There you have it. Your drain drop looking kind of object. So what we'll do is we'll hold control. I will click on here once more so that we get this circle arrows, and then hold control and then slightly move it here so that we get this icon here. Now what we'll do now is that with this selected, we'll click on this circle, this selected, hold shift and then click on here, and then we'll say align on horizontal axis, and then we'll say align it on a vertical and horizontal axis. Now this looks a bit weird, right? So what we'll do is that we will now slightly decrease the size of this like so, and then the size of this as well. Okay, this looks okay. So let's align them on a vertical axis. Let's see. Okay, they are aligned. Now let's go ahead and change this colors. So what I will do now is that I haven't grouped them, so I'll just click on here, go to the color picker, change the color. Similarly, go to select here, select tool, click on here, go to color picker, click on here. Similarly on this one, here. So there you have it. It's look kind of similar. So what we now do is that we'll just click on here, and then we say group them, or control G, or you can also right click and say group here, this option. So let's slightly reduce the width of this one. Okay, there you have it. And let's go ahead, since remember we grouped it, so we ungroup it here, and then what we'll do is we'll click on this, go to the color picker, change the color, then go ahead, click on the circle, inner circle, click on color picker, give it the right color, and then click on the text, go to color picker, do the process. We repeat the same process. Now let's again select all of these, group them, and reduce, control shift and reduce the size of this so that it looks pretty close to this one. Okay, so now we have these two. Now let's go ahead, create this background, and then we'll align the circle and the raindrops together to make it look like this object. So let's go ahead then. I'm going to select the rectangle and square tool slightly. Now I'm roughly drawing the circle, whatever feels right. Okay, now with this selected, go to the color picker, click on this. This is what the color is here, so you can also click on here and we'll get the color. That's done. That's okay. That's nice. Then we have a line, so we can create this line by going to square tool again, and then I'm drawing a circle, but it's not visible because the color of this square and with this square rectangle is rectangles is same. So let's change the color to this one here. This looks good. Probably reduce the width a bit. Okay, that looks much better. Okay, so now we have a line. So we'll take this and I'll put it here somewhere on top of the line, but oh, see, it's not visible, and the reason is we drawn the circle first, so it's at the bottom kind of a layer. So what we'll do is we'll bring it to the top by clicking on this button here. So there you have it. You have this. So now let's duplicate this by right clicking and duplicate, or you can do Control D. So I've done it once with using my mouse. Now I will do 4 more times by shortcut Control D. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now there you have it. So now we have 6 objects. You can see I've selected them and it mentions 6 objects here. Now what we'll do is we'll arrange them equidistantly. So we'll go ahead, go to object, and then click on transform, and then in the horizontal here what we're doing is we're putting spaces between each circle. So we'll put it 150 and then say apply. Now you can see it equidistantly aligned it, but it also moved it. So what we'll do is we'll slightly drag them here. Okay, and make sure when you apply this you have this checkbox, apply to each object separately selected, otherwise it might look a bit different. Okay, with that done, let's bring it here slowly. Again the same issue, bring it to the top. What we'll do is that we'll now go ahead, copy this 3 times because 2 times, because we want 3 at the bottom. As you can see, 3 at the bottom and the 3 at the top. So we'll just duplicate it 1 more time. Okay, so now you can see that there is a group of 3 objects. The objects are selected, so we'll separate them. Since we did it 150 for 6 objects, let's do 300 for 3 objects so that you get that effect. Okay, did not okay, fair enough. Let's Control Z, select these 3 objects and then apply the same transform, and you can see that did happen. So let's drag them slowly here. What we'll do now is that we'll control, with these 3 objects selected, Control D again, so that we have a duplicate of these 3 objects, and then we'll flip them vertically by clicking this button here, and then by clicking this we'll slightly drag it here. Okay, now we have the shape which kind of looks similar. We just now have to change the colors. So what we do is that we can click on here and then change the color. but you notice that the entire thing is getting changed into red, and the reason it happens because we grouped the three objects into one. So we have to then ungroup and then apply the color. So what we'll do is we'll Control Z, we select this one, right click and say ungroup, right click ungroup. Similarly we'll do for the rest of the objects. You can try selecting all of these and try ungrouping them in, but I'll just show you the easier way, I mean the manual hard way I should say. Now with that, what we'll do now is that we'll fill in the colors. So we'll start with the color here and then go down. So click on the inner circle here, go to the color picker, click on here, and then we'll go ahead and click on here. And remember that the color of the inner circle and the inner circle in the circle here and this the raindrop is same. So we are clicking this and making sure the color is same. Then we inner circle again. We'll repeat the same process which we are doing, which we did with for the first object. We're going to do it for the second object as well. Similarly, we can also do for, so it's already done. So let's change slightly this color here. Okay, that's much better. Click on here again, and then this time we're going to pick up this color. Repeat the same process for the inner circle down there, and we'll continue with the second but last object, slightly towards my right. Okay, there you go, we have it. Then again what we're gonna do is we'll click on color picker, green, go ahead, click on here, color picker, green. There you go, we have a similar kind of object which we see here. You can select all of these. Sorry. Okay. Control Z if you messed it up a bit, and slightly move it here. Now we can group them together by pressing Control G. Now that we are done with them. Oh, we forgot. So double click on it and we'll change the colors. I mean the text here. So that was 2. So let's change it to. I'm sorry, that was 02, 03 here, 04, 05, 06. Okay, there you go. These are not aligned properly for now, but I think I will leave that as an exercise to you to use align and distribute. And then we can add some text here by clicking on this here, create and edit text. You can put it whatever you want. Here you can add some more text. Let's probably increase the width slightly, make it bold. Whatever you fancy, you can just do that. Okay, so we are done with this presentation and I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching this one, and see you in the next tutorial.